Until the age of 26, I did not know the texture of my own natural hair. When I was natural back then, I was too young to care and definitely too young to remember. And by the time I could remember, my mom already put relaxer in my hair. So when I decided to return back to natural, these were the only pictures I could refer to slightly prepare myself on what was waiting for me after Big Chop. Like a lot of black girls, I also remember the first time I got a relaxer. I was turning 9 and my mom finally told me I could have a relaxer. And it was the happiest day of my life, I thought. From that moment on, I kept getting relaxers in the beginning twice a year, and when I could afford going to the hairdresser myself, I got them, I think, every 6 weeks, every 2 months. During that time, my hair was always healthy ish. It never broke down that much, but I had periods where I took really good care of it and periods where I really couldn't care less. And these pictures kind of reflect it, where you can see that it's damaged, and then when I got to the hairdresser again, it looks pretty healthy. So that was my hair on a consistent basis. At the age of 20, I gave birth to my firstborn, Shanilia, and my hair was flourishing obviously during pregnancy. And lucky enough, I didn't have any postpartum hair loss except for the front of my hair, which went completely bald. So I had a bald patch there, but other than that, my hair was healthy and it stayed thick. 2 years later, I gave birth to my beautiful baby girl, Janelle, and I was a mommy of 2 beautiful girls. Life was good and I loved my hair, but as the girls grew older, they had me questioning my hair. As their hair grew longer and wash day became more and more of a drag, Shanelia started complaining that she didn't like her hair and that she wanted hair like mommy. Shanelia started making comments like this around the age of 2, and then she continued making comments like that until I decided to go natural. And going natural for me back then was not a easy decision because my hair was healthy-ish. Like, I had long hair and I actually loved my hair, but I also started to realize that I was not giving her the proper representation that my girls needed to see. How can I say that I love their hair and I think that they are beautiful the way they are, but then continue to do something so drastic to change the texture of my own hair? And things got even worse when Janelle grew older and she started complaining, saying that she didn't want bush hair, referring to her curls when they were loose. So I tried to go natural in 2012 and I failed miserably. And I'm gonna explain to you guys why. So I chose this picture because it represented a moment in time when I realized that I really wasn't ready mentally to return back natural. In this picture, I was transitioning and I was 3 months into transitioning to do a big chop, which I would do a year later. But while I was transitioning, I kept using a lot of heat on my hair. I kept flat ironing my hair on a regular basis, almost every 2 days. And that was basically because I hated the way my roots looked. And then something they also don't tell you when you're transitioning is that you get a lot of tangles. Your natural roots and your relaxed ends begin, like extreme tangles. So I got really frustrated every wash day with these tangles, and I would literally just rip my hair out, and I would be so upset with my natural hair because relaxed hair would never. And then to top it all off, after struggling on wash day, after burning my hair so much that it would lay flat, then you go outside and your roots puff up straight away, which happened on this particular day. And I was so fed up that I said, well, forget it. I'm not going natural. So that same week, I relaxed my hair and life was good again. Until one day I came across this article and they were talking about the doll test. Back in the 1950s in the US, they would do a doll test to prove that segregation had a negative effect on the self-esteem of Black children. The test went as follows. You would put a white doll and a black doll in front of your child or a child and then ask questions like, which doll do you think is bad and which doll do you think is good, which doll do you think is beautiful and which doll do you think is ugly, which doll is smart and which doll is dumb. And what would happen during this test is that you would see that a majority of Black children would attribute positive characteristics to the white doll and then negative characteristics to the black doll. So I did this test with Shanilia and she was like 5 years old, and I was pretty confident that she had enough self-esteem to pass this test with flying colors. I mean, she was a gorgeous little Black girl. Why wouldn't she, right? But she didn't. In fact, she failed the test miserably, showing me that I was not doing enough to instill self-love and confidence in her. And I had to look in the mirror and be the representation I wanted her to look at. So in 2013, December, I remember it as the day of yesterday. On the day before Christmas, I had my last relaxer and I vowed never to relax my hair ever again. One major tip I learned from watching YouTube tutorials on transitioning to natural was that you should treat your hair like it's already natural. So use the products that you would use on natural hair and then do the hairstyles that you would do on natural hair. So when you finally do the big chop, you know how to take care of your natural hair. And that was very essential for me to be able to transition for almost a year before I big chop. I also used that time to reflect on basically all my beliefs on natural hair and what defined good hair. And I had a lot of talks with my mom, who then also decided to return back natural that year, which was great. And it was really a mental process of getting ready to go back natural. So on December 4th, 2014, I finally got the courage to do the big chop by myself, all alone, no cameras unfortunately, because me being a YouTuber was never part of the plan. Are you listening? This was the first picture my brother took for me getting out of the shower, and he saw me with short hair for the first time ever, and I don't think he ever can remember to seeing me with natural hair ever.
Oh, the hair. See? Wow, wat is er gebeurd?
Ik heb het gekend.
Zo kort.
Zo'n krushaar.
Je lijkt wel weer Chinees. Je lijkt toch wel weer Chinees. Zo kort. Zo kort haar. Ik vind het zo kort.
Het gelukt wel.
Waarom is het gelukt?
Ik wil mijn krushaar hebben. Dat kan toch?
Everybody who saw me loved my look. I unfortunately couldn't really adjust to having short hair. Look at this picture. I had really long hair and now it was all gone and I felt some type of way about it. The next day after my big chop, after I showed my hair to my girls, I immediately got braids and I put them in back to back. And I even bought a wig for the first time in my life because I never before wore a wig, but I was that unsure and not confident with my natural hair that it brought me to that point. And it wasn't until Shanelia and Janelle questioned me about chopping my hair and then putting fake hair in my hair, which they normally never seen before because I didn't used to do wigs and protective hairstyles that much. And they were like, well, you returned natural, but now you're putting all these fake things in your hair. Why would you then chop your hair? Like, don't you love your natural hair? So somewhere in the beginning of February of 2015, I finally put some hoop earrings in. I put my most gorgeous red lipstick on and I put my hair into a proper afro, which I have never ever in my life had before. And I think it was the first time me completely accepting that one, I have short hair now, two, I have natural hair and it's beautiful, and three, all that comes with it, the shrinkage, the frizziness, it's all part of natural hair and I'm gonna love it. By the end of 2015, I enjoyed being a natural to the fullest and my hair grew like twice as long within a year. So I was making progress. Every new year, I would make it a tradition to put my hair in an afro and then see how big my afro has gotten. 2016 was also the year I really started to get engaged with Instagram, and so I had a lot more footage of my natural hair, and I started also doing hairstyles with my girls. Meanwhile, my mom was inspired by your story and she decided to big chop as well, and that was the year of 2016, and she never went back to the creamy crack either. Because I already found my regimen before I did the big chop, I never had any real setbacks in my healthy hair journey, and it shows throughout. 2017, new year, new afro. The baby girl is growing, and I am so proud of her. Ever since I returned natural, it's either a wash and go, a twist out, or a braid out that I've been rocking, and I hardly do any protective styling whatsoever. 2017, new year, new afro. Hey, big girl. 2019 new year, no fro because my hair was too long and getting too heavy and it wouldn't stay up. So 5 years after doing the big chop, I was back at my original length, before doing the big chop, and super excited and loving this thing. So I joined the 10-year challenge on Instagram, and I posted this picture just to state that my growth within 10 years wasn't only staying as young as possible, but I've been through such a mental growth by returning natural and accepting myself and teaching my daughters to accept themselves, that's like the most, it doesn't get any better than that. And I also started noticing that the longer I was natural, the more confident I was with my hair, and the less pressure I felt to have defined curls, and I would rock undefined twist outs and hairstyles more than I used to in the beginning. December 2019 marked my 5th year of being completely natural, and it has been an amazing journey, and I only wish that I've done it sooner, but I truly believe in trusting the timing of your life, and this is exactly how it should have happened. And now we're in 2020, and I have no idea what is coming. I know the last few months have been a couple of rough months, but I'm positive that better days are coming, and it just makes me realize how grateful I am to have these beautiful, gorgeous girls on my own journey through life. That was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to see a similar video of Shanilia and Janelle and their own hair journey, because that was definitely different than mine, comment below, and I'll hope to see you next time.